Before you pack out your shipment for these directions, here is a few things that you need to know about the different countries. Let's take UK to start with. In terms of customs documentation, the paperwork that you need to get right before the shipment can be packed and loaded into the container. Other than the usual nuances in Kenya, where we will need your passport copy, a copy of your KRA PIN, and a valid inventory for us to be able to export the consignment, there are other details or documents that you will need in addition to that when the shipment gets to the UK for you to be exempted from duty and customs taxes. For people moving to the UK, you have to get started early enough for application of transfer of residency on His Majesty Revenue Authority portal. The process is quite straightforward, where you will be required to provide evidence that you are living outside UK. This can be in form of your rental agreement. It can also be in form of your work permit here in Kenya. Then you will also be required to upload a copy of your passport and proof of residency in the UK. This can be in form of a utility bill or also rental agreement in the UK. So once you have this, you'll submit the documents to His Majesty Revenue Authority, and then they are going to give you what we call a unique reference number. This unique reference number is what will be used during customs clearance in the UK to exempt you from taxes, so that your consignment can arrive at your door duty-free. Take the US as another example. Part of the documents that you will need for you to be able to complete or to clear the shipment through customs there are a set of documents that you will need to complete manually. These documents are an accompanied baggage declaration. This is where you declare that you're entering the US on this day using this flight, and then there's a consignment that will follow you behind, and you will complete the details of the consignment. In addition to that, you will complete the customs form 3299. This is the form where you complete the details of where you are living, where you're working outside the US, and where you're going to be living in the US, and when the consignment is going to arrive. Plus, you complete a few of your personal information on these forms. Then you will have to give the customs clearing agent in the US the power of attorney to act on your behalf and to clear the consignment for you. This form, we call it the power of attorney. Then in addition to that, your customs agent will lodge what we call ISF filing. This is to declare that your consignment is now expected to depart Mombasa or to depart whichever part of the world on this date and to arrive in the US on this date, and it's carried on this vessel, and every other details regarding the arrival of that shipment. We have Europe. All countries in Europe have more or less similar customs processes. This is where you will be required to declare or get a letter from your current employer confirming how long you have lived outside the EU. And then in addition to that, in certain countries like France and Italy, you get a letter from the embassy confirming how long you have been living outside EU. The letter itself is called change of residence certificate. This can it can either be complemented or supplemented by the letter from your employer. Additionally, in most countries, you'll be required to register yourself as a resident in those countries, and the registration should not be more than 3 months prior to your shipment arrival. If you're moving to Dubai or Abu Dhabi, there are additional documents that you'll need to provide for your shipment. Majorly for people moving for work in the UAE, you will need your work visa stamped on your passport, the UAE work visa stamped on your passport. And then you will need the UAE or the Emirate card, what they call Emirate card. Those two documents will be needed for customs clearance of your consignment for you to enjoy duty-free status. For returning residents who are going back to the UAE, you just need to provide proof that you're working outside UAE, and then you give them a copy of your Emirate ID. It is important that you get all this paperwork sorted before the consignment is loaded into the container to avoid demurrage and cold storage when the container gets to destination. Air shipments are quite fast and sometimes can be very expensive. They are mostly ideal for essentials and pet shipping. For pet shipping, it will take a day to 3, give or take, depending on the route. For personal effects, it can take up to a maximum of about 20 days. This is because sometimes airline will tend to prioritize perishable goods, and your cargo might end up getting rescheduled a few times. Sea freight, depending with the country you're moving to. At the moment, for a sea freight moving from Mombasa going to Europe or to the UK, it's taking about 65 days transit, whereas going to the US at the moment is taking about 80 days in transit. In all these countries, customs clearance is not a guaranteed that the container will arrive and then it will be delivered to your door. Sometimes, just like you experience at the airport where you are flagged off to go through the customs, your shipment also experiences the same thing. It is not pre-planned, it is just flagged on need basis. Should your shipment be flagged, it means that it is going to undergo extensive customs examination and there is going to be additional charges attached to it. It is good to be prepared for it, even though it might not happen. The exciting news are here, and you need to relocate to the US, you need to go to UK, you need to go to Germany, Italy, or whichever part of Europe. The biggest aspect of what determines or the status that you're moving to is your visa, or are you returning home, or this contract in Kenya has expired and you need to go back home. So we have different categories of shippers. We have the people returning home who are citizens of that particular country. We have diplomatic corps who have been transferred or who have been relocated to a different country. And we also have people who are moving on work permit. In countries like the US, the people who are exempted, especially those who are on permit, who are exempted from paying duties on their personal effects, are the people on H-1B visa. If you're on B1, B2 visa, you cannot import personal effects because that is treated as a temporary visa. For diplomatic shipments to the US, you need your Class G visa. And then on top of your Class G visa, once the shipping line issues what we call shipment arrival notice, or the airline issues the arrival notice a day before your shipment arrives, then you will be required to submit the arrival notice to your protocol office, and then your protocol office will do what we call DS 1504 filing. This is the document that will be used to exempt your cargo from customs verification and also clear your shipment through customs. So you're now ready for the pack out, or you're now ready for the move. What do you need to know, or what should you get prepared for? Number one, make sure you've completed all the paperwork and you've handed it over to your move coordinator. Number two, make sure that you have set aside what you're carrying on as your carry-on luggage and it is separated from the goods that are being packed for shipping. Number three, check where you're moving to and whether it has been covered. For example, if you're moving to London, can the container truck navigate through the compound, or you need shuttle truck? Will you be moving beyond the second floor, and inform your mover so that they can inform you of any additional charges that had not been factored in during the move? Customs law and processes changes every day on each country. It is therefore advisable that you go through the requirement for that particular country with your mover during the pre-move consultation process. If you want the checklist on what to look for or what to prepare as you prepare for international moving, follow the description link below for further information, or contact Nellions Moving and Relocation team We are happy to handle the paperwork as you prepare for the next chapter.